everyone, and welcome to the 2024 New Year's fire alarm set. Another year has passed, and that means at 12, I'm going to be setting off all of these alarms. Featuring over 35 devices connected to one control panel, this will be a very loud setup. Now, instead of using two systems this year, I will only be using one. I will be using the Firelight MS5UD fire alarm system, which I will show you. I have all these devices connected to that system, except with the exception of two devices. If you can see the Amsico bell up in the upper right and the Simplex horn strobe 4939-215 horn strobe in the upper right, those two devices will not be used, along with a few other devices that I kept on the shelf. Now for this test, I did want to use a couple different things, so you'll notice like I added a couple things. The Wheelec LED Exceeder, that is a brand new device to my collection. I want to use it. And there are a couple other things I threw in here that I've not used in previous tests. I was going to use a Simplex remote strobe. That was dead, so I did have to replace it, and so forth. So I'm going to be using NAC1, NAC2, and NAC3 for this test. Now, as you can tell, the wiring is kind of a mess, and I did make sure that everything is properly wired and is working correctly. This is not up to code by any means, but this is just for a New Year's sound off, and I made sure that everything will be working correctly so that you guys can enjoy this video. I also have an exit sign which I'm hoping to power on later in the test. So if we go up, as you can tell, there's a lot of wires going in and out. That should not look like that, but it's just for this sound off. The duct detector, obviously nothing's up there. I covered both of these pull station boxes. I will only be using one pull station to activate this sound off, and you guys actually voted for the pull station. I will go ahead and actually show you that pull station right now. The most requested pull station for this sound off was the Firelight BG12L. So I will be using that for this sound off. I believe I used that last year or a previous year, but I decided I wanted my viewers to decide what we're going to be using. Again, we're not going to be using the 4424B system. I will not be showing that system because I do have another setup on there right now, which is for next week's system tests. I have both of these pull station boxes covered to prevent, the exposed wiring, and I added end-of-line resistors, and I did prevent all of the troubles on the control panel, except the same battery trouble. This CO detector is still the same. I did keep up the Wheelec chime strobe. You will see that, I believe, in this week's system test. You'll see that with another device, which I'm not going to say. But I also have wires coming behind there. Again, not up to code, but again, this is just for this week. And then I wired in Edwards Integrity, which is also, there's wires on the side of that. I will show you the inside of the control panel. Obviously, right now it is not powered on. It's not powered on right now because obviously I don't need it powered on. This is the inside of the control panel. There are my batteries. They are disconnected. We're not using batteries because in previous years I've used batteries. They've not worked. Here are all of the NACs. NAC1, which is right here, positive, negative. NAC2, NAC3, and NAC4. Usually the wire would run down there, but because, again, I'm short on time and I really need to get this done, I just ran the wires through the side of the control panel. Again, not up to code. Never should be done like this, but again, I just did it this way because, it was the fastest way to get it done. And I just wanted it to, I wanted to just be able to get everything done and, done very fast. And I wasn't really too worried because once I do this sound off, everything will be torn apart. And I'm going to be going back to the same way the system used to be when we do the system tests. Now, this is something that I usually like to do every year, and I'm also going to be doing this year. I usually like to go over a couple things I hope to do and accomplish in the 2024 or the next coming year. Two of my goals last year, I believe, were, one of them was to get a driver's license, which I was able to do. Another one was, I don't exactly remember, but I do know I accomplished it. A couple goals I have for this year. One is I'd like to finish a project that I'm working on up at the New Jersey Fire Museum. Right now I'm working on a series fire alarm board project for them. I'm actually working with a good friend of mine, Larry, and thank you so much for your knowledge and your help with this setup. He used to do alarm stuff and electrical stuff, so he knows a lot about this stuff, a lot more than I do as a hobbyist. So he knows a lot about this stuff, so he's been helping me out. And we're actually going to be working on making some changes to the board that I built. Now, that isn't to say that everything is going to be taken down, but we are going to make some modifications and we're going to make the board even better. Even including a duct detector, which I'm extremely excited about. I did have a building a board system test series, or a building a fire alarm board series. I stopped that at part 4 because I was going to do testing and then I had serious problems on the system, which I'll hopefully talk about in another video, or I'm going to make a post about it. But either way, we're going to be completely revamping the system and making it even better. Now, there's going to be a lot of planning behind the scenes, and eventually we will get it back up and running. But unfortunately for right now, it's kind of out of commission. As far as my systems here, I've not really made any modifications except a couple conduit changes. I did add the CO detector this year. One of the things I do hope to add in 2024 is a Firelight Annunciator. I do hope to get that added onto the Firelight MS5ED system. I also am in the market for a new fire alarm control panel. I'm hoping to get something, hopefully, I'm hoping by the summer of 2024 or the fall of 2024. I have not decided what I want. I believe it's going to be addressable if I get anything. Right now, fire alarm prices have gone through the roof, so it is kind of hard in that aspect of things. But I'm hoping, at some point I can hopefully look into, seeing if I can get a new control panel. Now, back to, like things I hope to accomplish for this year. One of the things I do hope to do is go to technical school. I have decided that I'm not going to be going to a 4-year college, and I do want to stay with what I'm doing right now. One of the things I also want to do is become a volunteer fireman. I have not decided when I'm going to be starting that, but my anticipation is that I start that in June of 2024. And I'd like to do that along with still doing fire alarm videos and working. I would like to do that as well. So I do plan to also go to technical school for electric and building trades. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. I'm very interested in the electrical aspect of things, along with HVAC. I have not made a decision quite yet, which program I'm going to do, but however, I do plan hopefully on attending this school for these trades. These trades are a big part of my life. I really enjoy doing hands-on things. One of the things I always like to mention is that I may not be one of those people who can solve math problems in the classroom. However, when I do things hands-on, I can get to work and get stuff done. As you may have seen with the fire alarm stuff, I did not learn all this, by taking a class. This is kind of self-taught. And there's a whole story behind it, and I kind of want to put together a video kind of discussing these things as well. But with all that being said, these are kind of my expectations and my hopes for 2024. I'm now going to go ahead and show you guys a couple photos I took in 2024. I'm not going to be showing you all of them because I got like 1,000 photos just from the whole year. And that would just be too much to include. But I'm going to show you guys a couple photos and highlights from this current year. Some from the Fire Museum, some from my board, some new devices that I got. I'm not going to be showing like places I visited and stuff like that because it's not really fire related. But I'm going to show you guys a couple quick photos. And I will be back in just a second. All right, we are now just under a half hour until New Year's. All right, just a quick disclaimer before I do the sound off. I just wanted to mention, If you suffer from epilepsy or seizures, I highly suggest that you do not watch this video. All of the strobes will be out of sync in this test. I will not be using a synchronization module. So all the strobes will be out of sync and flashing at different rates. They're also turned up to the highest brightness setting, so it will be very, very intense. So if you suffer from epilepsy or seizures, I advise you not watch this video. 14 minutes, everyone. All right, at this point, I have powered the exit sign and powered the control panel. You may hear some fireworks in the background, but I have the entire control panel on, and we are ready to do the send-off when it is time. All right, we now have 7 minutes until New Year's. This is one video you guys really enjoy every year, and this is why I have so much fun making this video, because you guys really like this video, and I'm really excited about it. It's also fun to see what other fire alarm enthusiasts do as well. They also do a lot of different setups. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do too much of a big setup, but you know, over the years I've been able to expand and do better. I remember when I first started my New Year's special, it wasn't even with a control panel. I forget how I powered it, but it definitely was not with a control panel. All right, everyone, we have 5 minutes. All right, here we go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy 2024. That was loud. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to comment and subscribe and have a great day. And I will see you in the next video. Happy New Year, everyone.